I think, that puts us little away. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I'm very thankful to Satyaji actually. First of all, Bijay has given this opportunity, and I'm really thankful to Satyaji. In fact, he's like my second guru now.
No.
He really helped me. Like I was not really ready in the sense I didn't have really time, like you say, but he just, kept sending me reference, like, audio files, the links from the website. This is the fourfold qualification that we have been learning for last, I think, couple of weeks. Hariji started, and Vijay Kumarji explained the Sarsampat in the last class. So before I just, it was hard to memorize, so I just kind of took the essence from few of the links and try to type it out. So some of this I'm going to read, so please bear with me. But one thing I just want to mention, I know Satyaji told me just keep it within 8 minutes. I just want to mention one thing, that Guru is here, so he's teaching us. So it's, but the effect of doing this, the side effect of doing this exercise is actually wonderful. And I'll just share my own experience, like Satyaji was saying, it's like we have, I think it's applies to everyone, we have a lot to do. I think we live in a generation we call the anxiety generation. We have too many things to do, catching up one after another. When you are doing one thing, you are thinking about two other things, so you are not ever focused. So it's just building up in us. So when you have to do something like this, you actually have to force yourself. So like until Wednesday, I had no time to even look into this. And I know he kept on sending me emails. Then Wednesday night, I forced myself, like I had to actually call. He said, no, I'm available, just call me, I'll help you. So I called him. So like I think for 30-40 minutes, I was just, with him, and we were just trying to go through this. But that actually was a wonderful exercise. It was a distraction from all other things I was thinking about. So, and after that, 45 minutes, actually I was very calm. I could better think of like what is the next thing. Like who work in the private sector, a lot of pressure. You have to do like 5 projects, travel. I have, this Indian association. This year I'm the president, so we have a lot of things going on. You have to think all the time. So, but this was a nice diversion. So I think I encourage everyone to sort of come forward and do it. So not only we are teaching ourselves, but also you are diverting your mind to, basically bring it to a different sphere of thinking or something, makes you to think better. Actually, I think it helps. So this was the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sarsampat. I think that's the chapter, the fourfold qualification that we have been learning. I think Hariji started 2 weeks back. I was actually could not attend because I was finishing the Gita chanting there. But Bijay Kumarji recapped the whole thing. And one good thing was, Satyaji sent me the audio file last week's Bijay Kumarji's talk. And in fact, last night I heard the whole thing. It was like an hour. I needed 1 hour to listen to that. Actually, it was very good. I understood more better than sitting in the class, to be honest. Because you are just in a class, like, sometimes we just get carried away with the jokes and all that, but when you listen silently, you can make the connection how the jokes, follow through. Personally, I had not felt that myself, but it was wonderful.
It is true. I also felt the same. Your recording, I could concentrate, sit there and concentrate. Very nice.
Don't criticize that. They won't come to the class. They'll say, yeah, no, that was, it made sense. But like, same way, can you say, come here and stand and say, no, I don't think so. That's why, he's our guru. So this is the 4, the qualifications. We say the 4 means or 6 virtues. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sarsampat. This is by Adi Shankaracharya. We are learning Tattvavada. It is also in Vivek Chudamani. So I will read the first, I will chant the first sloka, and then I will, I'll just speak to it. Sadhana Chatushtayam came Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, Iha Mutrartha, Phalabhoga Viraga, Samadhi Sakaka, Sampati, Mumushyatam Chaiti. Actually, thanks to Sukanyaji. She actually recorded and he sent it to me. Okay, learn the chanting. So I think in the book, it just summarizes in a few lines, but then we'll just break it down a little more after that. I think in the book it says, what are the fourfold qualifications? The capacity to discriminate between permanent and impermanent, and dispassion to enjoyment of the fruits of one's action here and hereafter. The group of 6 accomplishment, the inner wealth, beginning with the sama and the yearning for the liberation. I think this, just in few lines, the whole thing is summarized. But we'll just break it down a little more. Basically, this 4 means of practice, the sadhana chatushtaya, which includes the 6 values. The third one is basically the sat-sampat, are cultivated on the path of self-realization by the school of Vedanta or the Jnana Yoga. These allow a clear, steady foundation to 3 stages of practices of listening to the teachings, Sravana, reflecting on those teachings, Manana, and the deep contemplation, meditation, is other called Nidhi Dasana. I know I'm not saying that right. So in another way to say this, sadhana chatushtaya is the fourfold way of self-control, cleansing oneself, purifying oneself, making oneself fit for the entry of what is supremely divine. These 4 ways or the methods of practice are known as the viveka, vairagya, satsampat, and mumushyatam. So we'll just go through each of these quickly. So it starts with viveka, which is the discrimination. Basically, it's the first of the 4. It's the gradual unfolding of the ability to explore and discern the difference between real and unreal, like Sat and Asat, permanent and temporary, and self and like Atman and Anatman. If you all remember, last week Bijay was just recapping that what is real, what is unreal. Like you were saying, draw like a chart, think about past, present, and future. Take any item and say, did it exist in the past? Did it exist? Does it exist today? Is it going to exist tomorrow? So in the same way, so basically, you can just see, that's how you can identify. So what is it? What is Satya? What is real? What has stayed or stood the test of time in all 3, what do you say, the time, periods of time. Yeah. So basically, the discrimination, meaning basically in this, like the ability to differentiate what's real or what's permanent or what's impermanent, I think that is that exercise, that mind, prepare your mind to be able to discriminate between real and unreal is the first step. And in most of the stuff we see are like, we say unreal, right? Like temporary, like we ourselves, everything is around us is temporary. But then what's permanent? The permanent is the Brahman, the eternal, the Brahman. So I think it's basically this is again preparing your mind, right, to realize what's what's real, what's unreal, and then it's again it goes into saying like what's your after, just knowing all that. It just goes to the next one, which is the vairagya, is the non-attachment or dispassion. So as a natural byproduct of discrimination, there is a decrease in attention to the objects of the world and in your desires for those worldly fruits. It's the process gentle by reducing the coloring of attractions and aversion in the inner field of mind. Again, dispassion doesn't mean like you get rid of everything, go away from doing your duty. It's actually the other way around. Just knowing, basically you are cultivating yourself to be a better person or do the right thing that's actually right thing for yourself, for the world, for the society. So that's the vairagya. Then come the 6 virtues, the satsampat, Basically, it again says this. So let's talk about six virtues. The six virtues are the areas of mental training and aptitude are cultivated so as to stabilize the mind and the emotions, allowing the deep practice of contemplating meditation to be performed. Sama, Dhamma, Uparti, Titisha, Shraddha, and Samadhana are the six virtues. Basically, they also say the six treasures inwardly, psychologically, emotionally, and feelingly you have to entertain in yourself, and you'll be happy inside. In other words, it says basically through Vivek and Vairagya, you become clarified in your understanding. Like we say like real, unreal, and then attachment, the detachment. So through that, you clarify your mind. But through these sixfold qualities, virtues, you become calm in your heart and mind. So once you go to the first two, then you learn how you can train yourself internally. And how it is, it's said very nicely here. So the first one, the six virtues, the first one is Sama, which is actually tranquility, the mind control. Basically, Sama is the determination on your part to be always calm and quiet under any kind of condition, even aggressive conditions. It's very important to remember that. So, it's like hate doesn't cease by hate, rather hate ceases by love. So, I think it's like Bijay Kumar just saying this last time, if you remember, from I think the movie Bobby, अंदर से कोई बाहर ना जा सके, बाहर से कोई अंदर ना आ सके. So basically, Sama is the like अंदर से कोई बाहर ना जा सके. So it's your controlling your mind, basically, and Dhamma is the controlling the sense organs, controlling your senses, basically. So senses are like all our five senses. So anything coming externally, that is like बाहर से कोई अंदर ना आ सके. That's the Dhamma. So Dhamma is the training of the external senses, means the responsible use of the senses in a positive, useful direction, both in our actions in the world and the nature of our inner thoughts. So Dhamma is the restraint of the sense organs, we said that. And when Sama is the restraint of the internal organ, which is the mind, Dhamma is the discipline of organs outside. There is a distinction between the internal and the external organs. And the third one is the Uparati, which is withdrawal. The Uparati comes naturally after the fulfillment of Sama and Dhamma. Like you have to control your mind, control your external senses, and then the next stage naturally falls into the Uparati. So Uparati is the cessation of all worldly longings. I have, it's like say, I have eaten well for 60 years. What is the use of asking for, further eating? In a sense, nice thing. Still crave for good food, good clothing and all that. We keep doing that. But it's not, that's where, like, how do we learn to withdraw from that, that ongoing desire, need after need. You satisfy one need, then needs keep coming. So how to control over that. And then the fourth one is the forbearance of the titisha, is the tolerance for the external situations. We all complain about it's too hot, too cold, any weather we always complain. But I think that's where, again it's a mind control, right? So building that forbearance or the tolerance is again practicing or teaching your mind, what's the right thing to do. So titisha means a kind of endurance and toleration that you have to exercise. You cannot expect everything to take place as you want. So, learning what to expect and how to control your expectations, I think that's probably is the way to say titisha. So Vijay Kumar, actually I think last class he was almost we stopped at this point. So he's going to continue the Shraddha and the Samadhana. Just to complete that thing, I'll just say this here. Shraddha is the faith in that which you are asking for. You should not go to God with a doubt whether He's there or not. So it's just, Shraddha is the intense sense of certainty about the direction one is going and keeps on going. And the last one is the focus or Samadhana. So this is the the samadhana itself is a focused meaning. The resolute focus towards harmonizing and balancing of minds, its thought and emotions. So samadhana is a concentration of mind. Be attentive always on what you are seeking. Your eye is always on that, like the consciousness of the target of a bowman who strikes it with an arrow. So these are again the mental preparation. So you went to the viveka, discrimination, then the vairagya is the dispassion, then all the mental mind control through all the six virtues, and that will lead to the last one, which is the mumuksha, which is the liberation. So it's an intense, passionate longing, a desire for the enlightenment and liberation from the levels of suffering, and that comes from the repeated cycles of suffering and delusion. It's a longing that is also strong, that it gradually swallows up all others, smaller desires. So with that I will conclude, and thank you again everyone. Hari Om.
Thank you.